Welcome to the Pickleball Legends podcast, hosted by me, Evan Small. This is the place where passion for the game meets the stories of the players, coaches, and fans who make pickleball more than just a sport. They make it a story worth telling. Today, I'm joined by Louise Stevens, although if you know her, you'll know her simply as Lou. Lou is the founder of London Pickleball, a Pickleball England Volunteer of the Year, and one of those people who has given so much of her time, energy, and heart to growing the game. Before pickleball, she had already had an incredible sporting journey, including playing football for Wales. But what really stands out about Lou is the way she brings people together. So today we'll be talking about her story, her love for the game, and how she's helped build one of the most welcoming pickleball communities around London. So without further ado, let's jump in to today's episode. Hey Lou, welcome to the Pickleball Legends podcast. We'll start off with the usual first question of how did you get into pickleball?
Well, I got into pickleball because I had some friends in America who I could never get hold of. I used to be able to had easy access to them. As soon as I phoned, they'd pick up the call, but couldn't get hold of them on email, anything. And eventually when I did, they told me they'd been out playing pickleball and that they were totally addicted and I should play. And I was like, no, I'd never heard of it. They don't play that in England. Anyway, they sent me a link or something on Facebook. And I was like, no, definitely don't play it in England. Then all of a sudden, I get a couple of things pop up on Facebook saying intro to pickleball and something else. Ended up, there's a guy called Leo Gonzalez who was massive in European pickleball at the time, and he put on an intro over at Heathrow. So I went to that, literally, I think I went on the Tuesday and then was back there again on the Friday to play again, and just was addicted in two sessions. So, yeah, just literally because I couldn't get hold of some friends.
You're based in London then, as you say, that was in Heathrow.
Yeah.
So how have you seen it grow in London, the sport?
Oh, it's gone mad, not just in London but everywhere. But London is now huge for pickleball. I played with Leo, and on the second time I played, there were a couple called Jane and Mike, who were the owners of the UK Pickleball Shop. And they'd come along for a session, and I got chatting to them, and they were like, oh yeah, we'd really like to play locally, but there's no pickleball. We'd love to start something up. So I was like, yeah, great. I'll be your first member, start something. Because they're only about half an hour from me. Well, they were at the time. So I went away on holiday to Lake Tahoe in America. And whilst there, playing pickleball, because I found some American groups to play with, I bust my ACL, MCL, LCL, and just tore just about everything I could in my leg.
That's not great.
Meant I couldn't play at all for a year because I had to have surgery. But I was so addicted that when I got back, I was like, hey, let's start this club up, because I wanted something for when I got back. So we started a group and we called it South London Area Pickleball, SLAP. So if you joined, you were a slapper. So it became popular just because of its name.
Yeah.
And we did an intro, and I think we had 14 people, many of whom were friends from my football days or work. And we all started playing, and everyone was pretty much addicted straight away. But we were, apart from Leo and his group at Heathrow, we were pretty much the only people playing in London.
Yeah.
So it kind of went from there. We started South London Area Pickleball, and it grew and it grew and it grew. Subsequently started London Pickleball, and then we've got spin-offs from that, Central London Pickleball. Then we set up a group in East Barnet, different things going on. Just in London Pickleball, we've got over 700 people on our email. So it's gone crazy. I think Central London Pickleball got about 150 on their group. Then you got Lemon Pickleball that started, that kind of do North and Northwest London, and they've got 100. So yeah, from when I started playing, I think the first competition I went to, there were about 150 people playing.
Yeah.
And that was pretty much everyone in the UK. Well, certainly everyone in England. Now, when you go to a competition, well, I know the English Open has now gone over 3,000 people.
Yeah, it's just grown incredibly, isn't it?
Yeah, it's gone mad. And, so we've gone from kind of 150 people playing to, I think there's something like 19,000 registered on Pickleball England, and there will be double that not registered. So, yeah, the growth's been phenomenal.
So what was that first competition you went to then?
The first sort of official one we went to, I think it was called the UK Championships in Stratford upon Avon, and that's where I first met a young man that we won't bother naming, who's turned into probably the top coach in the country, young Sam Basford.
Yeah. So we've had him on the podcast before, and we've heard his story as well. So how did it grow for you then? Obviously, you set up that club. What kind of areas did you grow into in the sport?
So we started up South London area. Sorry. We started up South London area pickleball, and that was very, very successful. We got lots of people playing. Louis Leville started at South London area, and his brother Guy and his mum Carolyn, even his other brother Elliot played, who was a very talented player. Thadia Locke, we were her first group in England, so it became a sort of a good board for everybody to start off in London. South London area pickleball then became kind of, they wanted a certain level to be able to play. So everybody that turned up could have good games without having to worry about new people who couldn't play. And although I understand that, that's really not my ethos. My ethos is that pickleball is a sport for everybody. I don't care if you've, got any kind of lack of ability, any disability, what your background is, whether you can afford to turn up or not. Pickleball is for everybody. So I started London Pickleball in 2020, and that is literally that. Nobody gets turned away because they're not good enough, because everybody is good enough. So we kind of moved on to that. Now London Pickleball itself has 700 people on our email list. That then led on to young people wanting to play. Sam and I started a competition we had a group called PEC, the Pickleball Events Committee, and we started the first ever United Kingdom Young Persons Championship. So we contacted the sort of top people around the UK, Barry Adams in Scotland, Karen Mitchell in England, and said, look, we'd like to do this. We'd like to call it the UK Championships because we want it to be for everyone. And they were absolutely fine with it. So we started running that. We've been running that since 2017, 2018. And then more recently, with young players wanting to come and play at our group sessions, we realised that that's great and we allow them to play, but juniors also need to play with their peers. They need to play with each other. So back in November last year, we set up the London Pickleball Fox Academy. So it's sponsored by Fox Pickleball, and they fully support it and, help with the financing. And we now run that academy every Saturday. And it's free of charge for juniors because of Fox's support and a benefactor's support. So families can bring their kids to play without any financial worries at all.
Yeah.
So that is brilliant. But then from that, we got more and more kids, more and more wanting to play competitively. So we contacted Pickleball England, and Pickleball England authorised, sanctioned and fully supported the new Pickleball England Junior Pickleball League. And the first one was last Sunday. We had 30 kids under the age of 16.
Wow.
It was incredible. It was so good. So we've got that now booked for July and September, sort of either side of the UK Young Persons Championship, the English Open, and then Nationals. So from May through to November, there is a junior competition every month.
That's great.
So it's incredible.
Yeah. So is that where your passion lies within the sport then, the junior side of things?
No, not really. I think my passion is for getting everybody to play. And if that's a 86-year-old man with Parkinson's or an 8-year-old who just wants to follow mum and dad's footsteps, I'm a big believer that pickleball is for everybody. I've just kind of got, I guess, sort of got along the junior line a bit because people have asked me to do stuff for juniors, and I tend to sort of, as soon as I'm asked to do so, I don't over plan. I'm like, build it and they will come. And so I just get on with it. And Claire Bell, who her son Will plays, we just literally had a phone call and she said, I'd love to see more competition. So I'm like, all right, let's do it. But if a 70-year-old came to me and said, I wish I could just play with other 70-year-olds, I'm sure I'd organise something for them as well.
But I think the area that pickleball is currently doing well in is the older crowd, and the younger generation are the ones that are just getting into it. So I think,
absolutely,
as you say, the focus kind of needs to be there if you want to get everyone into the game.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's certainly growth. Like if you look at the statistics, the younger generation are certainly coming. There's an upward trajectory for younger people now playing. And I suspect that if you'd looked at the figures 5 years ago, it would be something like 80% or even 90% of players are over 50.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's so big now.
No, it's definitely not.
Yeah.
I think it's the way that the sport needs to go as well. As the younger generation gets in, then it continues forwards, right?
Yes.
And dying off with the older generation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So you mentioned the Young Persons Championships, which are coming up very soon. Do you want to tell us more about that?
Yep. Okay, so we've been running that since, I can't remember if it was 2017 or 2018. I think maybe the idea was in 2017 and the first one in 18. And it was just a way to get kids, the younger people playing. It's the Young Persons Championship, so we based the age on the Young Persons rail card, which is 25. Oh, yeah. So it started off, it was 25 and under. But we realised, like lots of sports realise, that young women tend to drop off slightly in teenage years, early adulthood. And we had a big gap between girls aged up to 14, 15, and then they didn't want to play again until they were like 23, 24. So we raised the age for young women to 30 to get more young women playing.
Right.
And that became a bit more successful. Then we've run it, so we always ran it until last year alongside a pickleball festival at the National Badminton Centre in Milton Keynes. And that was successful. The juniors would play on the Saturday, and there would also be like 60 adults watching. And then on the Sunday, everybody just played in the festival. and any of the juniors that wanted to stay could do so. And we did that for a number of years. Then last year, we couldn't get the National Badminton Centre, but I was getting contacted by lots of juniors saying, "Oh, we still want to play." So I got hold of Telford Pickleball Club, and we ran it there. And we had under 25 men, under 30 women, and then we had a junior event that were for players kind of aged 16 and below that were about 3.5 level. So we did that. This year we've got even more players coming. I think we've already exceeded registrations, and I know there are still some to register. And this year we're having under 25s and under 15s, and there's a possibility we'll also have under 12s. So, yeah, we've got singles as well. And like last year, the singles was won. I think Charles Bowen Rayner won the singles. Then you had Anakin Owen, I think with Harry Hamilton, won the boys doubles or young men's. Then we had Georgia McHale, and she was with Anakin in the mix. So you've got all these high level players previously playing in it. The first one, I think the first one was won by Sam Basford, actually. I think maybe Sam and Peter Hitchman won it. So the level of players is really good. It's not just about grabbing kids and getting them to play. It really is competitive.
Yeah.
And this year even better, we're holding it at Courtside in Stourbridge, which is an amazing venue, like amazing, and absolutely perfect for this championship. Because I think of all the kind of venues around, this one really is a community-based venue. So for the youngsters to be able to come with their families, I just think it's going to be perfect. And Josh and Boom make everyone really welcome. It's good food, which is the main thing. So, yeah, and, you know, we'll be using the Pickle Pals system for games. So, whereas before it's always been kind of a bit of paper and pen system. So, like, using the Pickle Pal system is just going to be incredible.
Yeah, well, hopefully we've built some good stuff for you to try out there.
Yeah.
And you mentioned earlier about the referees as well.
Yeah.
That could be good for you.
Yeah, so we've managed to get Maureen McCadden, who's a level 2 EPF referee, and she's been sort of making contact with some of her other referees. She's got Kelly Dawson, who's going to kind of be doing the referee scheduling, etc. And they've managed to get 8 of their current level 1 and level 2 refs. We've got some extras who are level 1 who are just sort of trying to reschedule things so they can come. And we also have some USAP referees come in. So we hope that every game will be refereed. And as far as I'm aware, that will be the first time that has happened anywhere in the UK.
Yeah, that's just going to be incredible. Such a great achievement, especially within the young players world.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And we've got like great sponsors for the event. So Franklin Pickleball have sponsored the event for the last few years. They're our title sponsor, along with the UK Pickleball Shop. And they're very supportive. They supply the balls, they supply prizes. And this year, UK Pickleball Shop are actually offering prize money for the open category. So anyone in the under 25s or under 30s will get prize money from the UK Pickleball Shop. We've got Notties who are like helping us out. They helped us last year financially and again this year. and then EULA are going to supply the kits and package for the referees and the volunteers. So, like, yeah, really great support from really great people.
Yeah, I think that's well. I mean, it's one of the best things when you're trying to support the sport, and especially within the generation it's going into. Is everybody wants to grow it within that generation,
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
everybody's just willing to not throw money at it, but you know what I
Yeah,
mean.
yeah, and that's it. And
But,
we've kind of said to people, it's not about money. It's a non-profit event.
yeah,
The intention is not to make any money. It's to do it as cheaply as we can for the juniors. Like if they paid for all three events, they got a refund on part of their registration fee because we want them to have as much pickleball as we can get.
yeah,
Franklin, yeah, again, give us such a good package. Again, not financially, because we don't want the money. We want to be able to offer things to people.
yeah.
And yeah, so it's amazing the support we're getting from people.
Well, obviously, youngsters aren't necessarily able to fund themselves through it either, are they? So
Yeah,
that's part.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I think that's one of the biggest things with junior pickleball is the fact that like it's the parents that are having to pay for this, and we want everybody to be included, and we don't want any restrictions or anything holding them back. So being able to offer free academy sessions gets them through the door, and
yeah.
then when we can offer huge discounts on registrations, again, the parents are more likely to be able to support what the kids want to do.
Yeah, no, it's incredible everything you're doing. Really, it is. So, where do you see the sport growing to in the next 5 or 10 years? Then,
Yeah, I can see, there's massive growth in Asia, and massive for juniors. There's a lot going on in Europe now as well, Italy and Spain in particular, that are doing junior stuff. I think if we continue at the rate we're going, in 5 years' time, we'll have a junior program everywhere in the country. I was speaking to somebody up in Derbyshire only this week, and they're looking at doing stuff. If we can get the Junior Pickleball League that we ran last week, if we can get that in all the regions of the country, and the good thing about it, you can offer different divisions, so different ages, different levels. It's going to encourage more and more kids.
yeah,
I don't think it'll be that long before the sport levels out with the over and under 50s.
yeah,
And then the more role models they've got, the kids playing, the 14-year-old, 15-year-olds like Noah Gregory, Theo Malbois, who are like top of the game for their age group, and in fact compete very well like with adults.
yeah,
They've got role models like Louis Leville, Sam Basford, and then in 5 years' time, these lads are going to be the role models for the new ones coming through.
yeah.
We had an 8-year-old play on Sunday
Wow.
who was magnificent. So to give young Sam and Jackson Reed and Charlie Green, the 10 and 11-year-olds, to give them role models, I just think the growth's going to be like ridiculous.
Yeah, and obviously getting into schools is a big thing people are talking about at the moment. Is there
Yeah.
anything that you've done around that or no?
Not really. We have run introduction to pickleball in the schools where we play. Because once we're there, we bump into the teachers and we're like, oh, this would be great for the kids. And at one of the schools, we put on a weekly programme for their sixth form kids. So I think it's something that needs to come and will come. But I kind of feel that it needs specialists. And I know Pickleball England have, started writing a programme around schools. But again, schools follow a curriculum, and trying to get them away from football, tennis, rugby onto new sports is quite a difficult thing. And to me, my knowledge on school stuff isn't that great. It was a couple of years since I was at school. But yeah, I guess getting them to change what's on their curriculum is going to be the hardest battle.
Yeah, I can imagine it would be difficult. And on top of that, you'd have to write a curriculum for pickleball as well.
Yeah.
And with the sport, obviously it changes like every week there's something new introduced.
Yeah.
So I can imagine it would be very, very difficult to write a curriculum for it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah. But it's going to be interesting. It will come. I think there's no way, because pickleball is such an easy sport for people to pick up. Certainly easier than tennis. Certainly easier than squash. And at a much younger age. Like I said, we had a tiny 8-year-old on Sunday, and he's been able to pick pickleball up in minutes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I certainly think the smaller bat, the lighter ball is a lot easier for kids to learn. And we all know you can be playing a game of pickleball in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Tennis, takes you 6 weeks to learn how to serve.
Yeah, exactly. So, you don't need any prior coaching. I mean,
no.
Lots of us didn't come from coaching when we started playing the sport. You just pick it, you go along.
Yeah. So, and I think, and in many clubs and many groups up and down the country, you can turn up at a group, they'll put a bat in your hand, and all of a sudden you're in a game. And, how many sports can you do that?
No, exactly. And be able to just travel to a different club and say, hey, do you mind if I join in on your session? And
yeah, absolutely. Especially in London, we get that all the time, because you get like visitors from abroad. They arrive in London, the first thing they do is click, oh, just landed in London, where can I play? Yeah. And, there's not many weeks that we don't have somebody who's not a regular person at London Pickleball. We have Americans, French, like Singapore, like it's constant. We've got, and in fact, last night, a really, really good coach from America, a guy called Russell Eleftherian. He's known as Coach Russell. He had a really big coaching brand. And he's over. The first thing he does is message, can I jump in a session? What other sport can you do that?
Yeah, exactly. It's just great.
Yeah.
And people who love it that much to be able to play, like, I'd be happy to play pickleball every day for the next 50 years,
Yeah, absolutely. And what is nice, I think, with pickleball, no matter what standard you are, you can still have a game even if the players aren't your standard.
Yeah.
You could do that in other sports.
No. And not still have them have a good game as well. Yeah. That's, I think, the main thing.
Exactly. So, it's great. And the more kids that get involved, the better it's going to become. Yeah. And certainly on Sunday, the games were unbelievable. The standard was ridiculous. So, I think we probably, of the 30 kids there were at least 10 that are playing 4-0 level.
Wow.
Like, that's a third of the juniors there.
Yeah.
So, I wouldn't want to play any of them, that's for sure.
Yeah.
No.
Well, you might fit in on a court with the kids.
Yeah, well, I think I was as small as little Sam, so, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's sweet. So we've got a section on the podcast called the Pickle Pals Quickfire Questions, because the sponsor of this podcast is Pickle Pals.
Right.
It's just 60 seconds of quickfire questions, and they're all pickleball related.
Okay.
You ready?
Let's go.
Your time starts now. Describe pickleball in 3 words.
Fun, challenging, enjoyable.
What's your favourite shot to play?
Inside out.
Singles or doubles?
Doubles.
What's the biggest mistake beginners make?
Rushing in after the serve.
What's always in your pickleball bag?
It's always in my pickleball bag. Paddles.
Do you prefer the power game or the patience game?
Oh, patience every time.
Who's your favourite doubles partner?
Ooh. Neil Rodford.
Why should people give pickleball a go?
Because there's no other place to have more fun.
I think that's a great place to end it. That's your time up. And yeah, I mean, you've given some great answers there. One of them that I want to go back to is, you said your favourite shot is an inside out.
Yeah.
For the people who don't know what an inside out is, can you just explain it to them?
Where, how do you explain it? Where you're kind of on the inside of the court, but you turn the ball outwards. And I love doing it against left side players who try to overpoach and get in behind them.
They're expecting you to go around it the way that you would normally hit the shot, but you're hitting it
and then
the
you
other
go
way.
the other way. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
That's quite a good one.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's been lovely to have you on the podcast. Lovely to speak to you.
And you.
Thank you very much. We'll see you at the Young Persons Championships.
Yes, I look forward to it, and I look forward to your scoring system, because as much as I tried to break it on test, I couldn't. It looks like you got a great system going there.
Thank you. Hopefully it'll all run smoothly for you at the event as well. And thank you very much for watching. We'll see you in the next episode.
See you soon.
Thanks for watching this episode of Pickleball Legends. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, follow and subscribe, whether you're watching on YouTube or listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts or anywhere else you get your fix. We've got new episodes coming out every 2 weeks, so make sure you're following so you don't miss the next one. Thanks for tuning in, and as always, keep dinking, keep smiling and stay legendary.